So, back for another VGC guide, and this time we are looking at Espathra, a Pokemon that almost swept me when I faced the champion. I didn't have a Dark type on my team, and Lumina Crash started to snowball quite out of control, but just about made it through. And that is exactly what you would do if you were using Espathra. You would be making use of this Lumina Crash. Basically a double-powered Acid Spray. Is going to be the Psychic type as well. Lowering the special defense by 2 stages is very significant. Acid Spray itself, when Backbite was used, it was used to support something else because it was too weak to really do its damage itself. Lumina Crash can easily support itself. 80 base power, being able to do enough damage is definitely going to be significant enough. So that is exactly what you'd be using this Espathra for. It gets speed boost as well, so why not? To be able to outspeed most things after a speed boost, and it's 105 anyway, so it's going to be moving first most of the time regardless, and you can just always give yourself that speed boost. But then, yeah, you can just outspeed your own Pokemon, get a fake tears boost, quote unquote, so that the other Pokemon next to you can also do a massive hit with a special attack as well. So that would be what you'd be going for with Espathra. It can snowball out of control itself, but it would be mainly there to support its partner. You've got Dazzling Gleam, just the coverage for the Dark types. You'd want to be Fairy types so that you could transform into the Fairy if you're facing down any Dark types, and then you'd get the extra stab on the Dazzling Gleam as well. And it is one of the few Pokemon that gets Ally Switch, so yeah, you kind of have to, almost. So that would be just the Focus Sash version, nothing fancy there, and Choice Specs would absolutely work as well, given how easily Lumina Crash could snowball out of control. If you hit twice the Lumina Crash, the second one is probably a KO, given this Choice Specs boost and the special defense drops that you've just got. Still have Dazzling Gleam for the Dark types, and then just rounding off with some coverage here. Psyshock is so you can hit on the defenses. If you don't want to be Lumina Crashing something on the specially defensive side, nothing too fancy here. You're still going to be speed boosting. But otherwise, there is a very cool niche that Espathra could also do. I haven't actually tested it in-game, but I see no reason why it would not steal a Dondoro's boosts when it gets it paired with the Tatsugiri. So it gets this really cool ability. I think it's the only one, Espathra is the only one that gets Opportunist. Opportunist is the way you pronounce it, I assume. So when a Pokemon gets a stat boost, you also get the stat boost. So when Dondoro gets all the stat boosts, Espathra also gets all the stat boosts. I assume. I see no reason why that wouldn't work, and obviously it's not going to, and I'm going to look silly for suggesting this, but there we go. So because you'd be using this Espathra purely as a Dondoro counter, you would want Feather Dance at least, because then you truly counter it, because then you reduce its attack down, so that it can't actually do any of its damage. You're all boosted, you're all good. You can Fairy type as well, so if it goes for any order ups to try and boost its attack again, or any of its other stats, usually attack, then you'd be fine and be able to block that as well. And then you can just baton pass your Dondoro boosts into whatever you want. So that is the idea behind this Espathra. It's a very, very hard check to Dondoro. I can't see a way that they would break through it otherwise. So if you are struggling with that, then why not slap this on the team as well? So I'm giving it a C ranking. I think it could be close to B because Lumina Crash is a pretty cool attack and has the potential to snowball out of control very, very quickly. But I will have to wait and see how the meta develops to see if that is going to be the case. I think having speed boost helps it a lot, but for now it's just going to be a C.